Hey, okay, welcome to the channel, hi gamer, whatever, all the good stuff. Today we're here with Nurse. You probably know who she is. She's my favorite, she's your favorite, or she should be. If she's not, go ahead and click off. And we're gonna be doing some hot takes. Nurse, do you wanna introduce yourself? Say hi to the people.
Hello, notable hot take enjoyer, Nurse here. I'm super excited for this. I think if you've followed me on like Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, whatever, you know that I get in trouble. Okay, I get in trouble regularly for saying stuff that people think is stupid, and then they come back 2 months later and then they pretend that they never disagreed with me because it's common knowledge now. Okay, and I'm tired of it. So we're gonna do a tier list going all of your hot takes.
Yeah, I feel like there's always like a buffer, like you'll say a take, and then 2 months later it becomes true. It's kind of like a genie, right? Where it's like, you say something to the genie and it comes true. It's just there's like a bit of delay with this one, you know?
Because I spoke the truth. It's not what they wanted to hear.
Diving into the tier list, we can go ahead and break down our tiers though. So if you want to change the name of the tiers, I have our top tier as no notes. Our second tier is right idea. Our third tier is like, it's safe, like, you know, like it's like, this maybe isn't really a hot take actually, right? Like it's like, you're right, but it's like, you're not a hot take, we're not giving you that top tier like reward. Like if you say like, Man Slayed is like not great, right? It's safe. That's a safe take, right? Like
safe.
maybe if you were 2 months ago, you'd probably get killed on Twitter, right? Like people would be at your front door, they'd be showing up. But right now, that's a safe take, you know. Our next tier is Lost the Plot, right? You're just like a little off track, right? Like it's not the worst take I've ever heard, but we went wrong somewhere. And then our bottom tiers are Lamal tier with a big question mark because we gotta laugh about it, you know.
Surely
there's something.
There'll be a couple.
I imagine so. I was going through the forms that viewers submitted from you guys. Thank you guys so much for responding to that form. By the way, y'all gave me tons and tons of fun hot takes to read, and some of them were really. It was like, Zetterburn should probably be removed from the game. I think Dan Fernese should have prison time for this character. Like, we really need to look into like an FBI internal investigation. Like something went really wrong here, and I was like, how do I? First of all, I've got a 1x1 square to fit this in on the tier list board.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
And so that's not gonna make it in. And then also it's like, where do I put this on the tier list? Like you're in Lamal's here, you know. But our first one up here today, we have Rivals 2 should have no ledges. What do we wanna?
It's interesting. I think the difficulty with this one is like whoever you are individually, like your bias is gonna come out here, right? Like if you're a Rivals 1 fan, obviously you're gonna think that this is true. And if you're a Rivals 2 or like Melee or PM or just Smash fan generally, obviously you're gonna think this is like a hot take. Genuinely, I would be tempted to put this in like it's safe. Again, just because like without ledges, Rivals 2 would be a very different game. A different game to the point where you would have to rebalance it almost entirely. Like you could
for sure
out and have that be fine. But also, like, if you're a Rivals 1 fan, obviously that's what you think, right? So it's not a hot take at all.
Yeah.
In that regard. So I think whoever put this is probably just a Rivals 1 fan. And sadly, I'm calling you out. For first one, I didn't expect it to be so confrontational.
Yeah, I started off strong. Like, I kind of tried to... There was a few big hitters in here, and I tried to sprinkle them in throughout the tier list. So I got a big one off first, you know? But yeah, I agree with that, I think. I think it'd be a really fun side mode if we had a mode, right, with maybe like no shields, no grabs, and no ledges. Like if that was like a Rivals 1 like callback like mode, like a side game mode. I don't think that I want this to come to the core game mode. I feel like if you like the no ledges mechanic, Rivals 1 is really, really well balanced around it. So let's just go play Rivals 1. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think maybe then in that case we put it in just like Lost the Plot.
Maybe, yeah. I'm good putting it here.
It's not that much of a hot take, again, especially if you're a Rivals 1 fan. And you're not really adding anything new to the conversation. Like, we've had this conversation before.
Yeah, it's kind of an easy thing to go back. So I have a lot of hot takes about Remix Rivals, and I tried to distill people excited for them and people frustrated into them into their own categories. So our next one is Remix Rivals will make the game more accessible. I feel like this is just a right idea take, where you have characters that are similar to other characters. So it's like, okay, I play Zetterburn, I'm new to the game, I would like to learn a new character. Rinburn is like Zetterburn, but a little different, so I'm gonna learn Rinburn. right?
Yeah, and I think Zetterburn's already one of the like more accessible characters in the game, and so having like another character, and then for example, if you pick up Zetterburn, then you have some skills that transfer over to Renburn, which makes it easier if you're having trouble with certain matchups. I think generally, yeah, this is definitely just like a right take. I think the remix rivals overall are just going to add diversity
Yeah.
to the game, and so I'm not too mad about them being included. I'm pretty pleased with the remix rivals actually, but I don't know.
No, I have a video, and that's why I don't know if you saw today. I put out like a skin tier list video because I'm making a remix rivals video, and it's taking way longer than I thought. So I was like, I just need to get something out, like keep the show like, hey guys, like I'm not dead, you know, like. So our next one is Zetter being top tier for so long makes him boring, not his moves or playstyle. So the idea is like, because he's been so good for so long, that's what makes Zetterburn hated, not necessarily how he plays.
I disagree almost
Really?
entirely. I think the reason Zetterburn is annoying and frustrating is because his power is so consolidated in a few moves.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where a lot of the frustration lies when people are playing against him. Like, the strength that is just in Dare, Shine, Fair, and Up Air is like, you can just do those moves. If he was top tier and his moveset felt more diverse, or it felt more like interactive, or even if he felt a little squishier, I think all of those things would make him feel a little less frustrating to play.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think it has to do with how long he's been top tier for, because I'm actually fine with Zetter being a top tier. Like, I think Zetterburn is a healthy top tier.
I think so too. I think that like this was actually a video I was like putting together like in my mind like actually yesterday, where it's like if I had to pick like 3 characters to always be good in Rivals 2, I think that Zetter would be one of them, right? I think that he is a good top tier. However, right now I think the problem is that it's like you can do a weak hit of a move into the strong hit of it in his kit super consistently, and then if you DI for the strong hit, then you get hit by the strong hit on the next one. So I think that's like a really big problem where it feels almost to everything in his kit feels rewarding, even if you're not getting the hitboxes you're supposed to.
They've nerfed those hitboxes a number of times and said that they've been targeting them for nerfs, and it hasn't really mattered.
Next we have, and I think that this one I personally do agree with, character results do not necessarily equate to balance.
Oh, this is such a safe take.
Yeah.
Because you adding, so how did they type it? Said results don't necessarily equate to balance. That's different than saying results don't.
Yeah, so I think that if I remember right, they had a massive paragraph for me. There was 2 people that responded with this take, actually. And how I interpreted it for me is like, just because a character is winning a lot does not mean they're necessarily top 1. Which I think is like just a safe take, right? Like you can have characters win that aren't top 1, especially in Rivals. Like it kind of felt like I was reading it and I was like, well, like, yeah, but at the same time, I do think there's people that probably do disagree with this.
I think this is a common belief.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest. Like, and this is coming from someone who probably puts more stake into results than most people. Like, I look at results pretty heavily when I'm talking about balance.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, right? Like, that's not the whole story, obviously. Especially in a game as small as Rivals 2 is, relatively speaking. You're not going to have an equal number of representatives for every single character.
Yeah.
This is probably the safest take on the tier list so far.
I think a good example of this is Orcane. I think Orcane is like super, super broken this patch. And we have like maybe, like we had one Orcane really at EVO, and that was like Plop, obviously. You know? But it's like, obviously Orcane is so good, but there was only one in that top 64 or top 8. I might have my numbers wrong a little there.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think Orcane is fine. I wouldn't put Arcane anywhere near like broken tier, but
I appreciate it. Do some work for me, because if I say the Orcane is like fine, people in the comments are going to shred me because I know that I main him. But you know, yeah, let's go ahead and get Nurse on this one. I'll take a hit. Y'all can whack me later on in the video, I'm so sure. Next we have the game should target more casual fans and content creators. To me, I think this one's wrong. I think that we've seen Platfighters try to target explicitly casual fans in the past, like Multiverses, and it goes really, really wrong, really fast. But I do think that the game should have more casual modes and things like that, right? Like, I don't see a problem with that, but I think explicitly targeting casual fans is not play.
Interesting. And you're gonna get a hot take out of me on this.
Yay! That's what we're here for, you know?
Where I actually think this doesn't matter meaningfully, almost at all. We've seen games like you said, Multiversus, Nasby, notably, and a couple of other platform fighters launch with like roguelike modes, with story modes, with little bits and bobs that you can interact with, and they haven't stuck.
Yeah.
And I think in those instances, you know, part of it is like the gameplay didn't hit as hard as maybe people hoped. But that's just it, right? Like the gameplay had to hit hard. And I think people confuse casual content for the appeal of Smash. Part of the appeal of Smash is obviously the casual content that gets you playing with your friends and stuff like that. It's great at facilitating that. But what actually gets people in the door for Smash is not the casual content.
It's the roster. Yeah.
The characters that are in the game. And so for a game like Rivals 2, which is so competitively focused, I think the devs would be better serviced working on the net play, working on getting cosmetics out that people will pay for, getting characters out. I think workshop is a really big deal. And it's something that they've prioritized, but obviously that's something that takes time. But again, workshop services the roster. Like it all comes back to the roster.
Yeah.
I think if I'm going back in time and trying to offer a suggestion to the devs, it is getting a guest character in sooner.
Yeah, I can see it for sure.
And I think having a character like Hornet in the first 4 DLC characters would have done more for this game than anything
Yeah.
actual patches even came close to doing. And so this I disagree with, and I think, again, the intro of items and casual stages did bring some people to the game, but not enough for the amount of effort that it took. And that effort could have been put elsewhere. And we're seeing the devs allocate that effort elsewhere now because it didn't have the impact that it needed to. So I think this is just wrong.
Yeah, I think I do agree. I think that the biggest thing to me with like casual fans is I see a lot of casual fans, they go into a game, they play it for maybe like a day or two, they maybe figure out like, I don't love this one, or I like this one, I'll come back to it in maybe 2 months. And I feel like with a fighting game, you want people wanting to stick around a little bit longer than a day or two, you know?
I think the casual stuff, on top of it only being on PC right now, where Smash is like so accessible, like someone could just bring a Switch to a party. Because
Yeah.
it's only on PC, right? Someone lugging their PC around to bring this to play with all.
Hey, you got the Steam Machine. You got the Steam Machine. You throw that thing in your backpack. It costs you $1,000. You hit a bump in the road, and you got to replace it for another $1,000.
And I think the casual stuff. I said this before it came out, and I was trying to be optimistic about it. But I never thought that this was going to have the impact that they wanted, sadly, and I don't think it did.
Yeah, I think that it has like a good long-term impact, right? Where it's like casual players have more things to attach onto than just ranked. But I don't think that it was ever going to have like a oh, the casual patch is here now. A million casual players spawn in, you know, like that wasn't gonna happen. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty comfortable putting this in Lost the Plot. I don't think it's like an offensively bad take. I just don't think it's correct. But next up we have potentially an offensively bad take. The person who worded this, they said the game's balance should be shaken up regularly for freshness to make sure that the meta is rotating, right? Like I don't know if you played like a League or like a Valorant or an Overwatch or anything like that, but they kind of rotate the meta. I find this take to be interesting. I'm not sure if I 100% agree with it, but I think that if the meta every 3 months, right? Let's say if like, okay, this 3 months, like Absa, Clarin, and there's someone else in the roster, like Raster were all really good, right? And then the next 3 months, it's like Zetterburn, Orcane, Lorena, right? Are all really good. That could be interesting to me. However, I don't think it works that way for a fighting game, right?
I think in something like League, or even if you think of like Marvel Rivals or something, the barrier to entry for picking up a character in those games is like relatively significantly lower. Like there's a lot more pickup and playability that encourage you to like switch around characters, because even like in those, not in League, but in Marvel Rivals, you can switch your character mid-game.
Yeah.
So it's easier to swap around and kind of find something that works, especially as new stuff gets strong. I think in fighting games you are targeting at most times like a balanced roster of one, but like a particular meta where some of the more frustrating characters are not broken. I think like
Yeah.
meta where the best characters in the game are Slade and Edelus. Like what a fucking nightmare.
That was last night on my potential meta. Those were the bottom two. Like, if I had to pick two characters to be the best character forever, those were like, these can never be the best character forever. Like, these two would...
Those were the two best characters. You would hate your fucking life.
So I'm gonna put this one in Lost the Plot. Maybe even in Lamau. Maybe that's too much for this one. And next we have, this one's not really a hot take, of course, this one won't get us in trouble at all. Rivals 2 is perfectly balanced. This person said we don't ever need another patch note ever.
Oh, this is interesting. They said we don't need another patch note ever.
They were like, stop patching the game, pull the plug, Trevor can have his time off, we're done patching. That's this person's world.
You can put that in Lamau.
I think so too, yeah.
Before you said that, I was gonna agree with this. Like, generally speaking. Rivals 2 is very well balanced.
Mm-hmm.
If the game was to stop getting patches right now, it would not be in an offensively bad spot.
Yeah, I agree.
I think you would see certain characters ascend while other characters fell off a little more over time. I think the gap would widen as people counterplay and stuff like that. But it's not an offensively bad take. Like, I don't think Rivals is ever going to be poorly balanced. But the idea that they should stop patching it right now and just let everything rock and we're all done and just...
No.
There's a lot of things. There's a lot of edges that could be ironed out in this game.
I need GUI first. Like, it's like, without GUI, how am I gonna make content that gets tons of clicks, you know? So we're gonna put GUI in the game, and then Trevor can go. That's okay. There's a Discord message from me in like 2018. I'm like, I don't care if Steve ruined Smash Bros. I want Steve in Smash Bros. And I got my wish. So I'm gonna come back here. I'm gonna double down. I'm gonna co-sign 2018 me. I don't care if GUI ruins Rivals 2. I think a GUI meta would actually be nightmarish too. He's down there with Slade and Edelus, probably. Next we have what I believe to be another Lamau tier. I think you're with me on this one. Zetter is unhealthy for the game and should be gutted. They had a few more choice words that I don't know if a tier list maker has a filter on it, but this one would definitely have flagged the filter.
Yeah, this is there's not even much to say on this one. It's just like a skill issue. Like, sorry. Like, I hate Zetterburn as much as the next gal, but like, come on, it's not that bad. And relatively speaking, again, like, you're mad about Zetter, but like, have you fought, like...
Orcane? Yeah, like, everyone does something crazy in this game.
Have you fought Galvin? Have you fought, like, Loxodon? Like, there's way bigger offenders than Zetterburn.
Yeah. He's...
Was top 1. Like, you'd hate your...
I'm good. I'm not imagining no more. I'm coming back to reality. Next we have Slipstream has never felt balanced and should be replaced with a new option. So on Raster.
It's funny because I feel like the devs, that this was like Trevor submitted this. I think they don't know what to do with Slipstream. I think it's a legacy mechanic that they want to keep.
That Remix Rivals video that I'm working on, I remixed Raster, like I'm pitching like ideas for a Remix Rival. I don't know how good they are. The first thing I did with Raster was rework Slipstream completely for a remix, where it's like, I think that if we got a new kit for Raster, the first thing that we would change would be. So I kind of almost half agree with this. However, I like Slipstream, right? But I know that it is like a pain point to balance, because how do you make it to where you don't camp for Slipstream timer, and you don't camp with throwing Slipstream itself? Like, you don't just throw it backwards and then camp with that. But then how do you still keep it strong and interactive? Yeah. So how do you find that middle ground there to where it's interactive for both players?
The time where like Slipstream wasn't transcendent, where you could like clank with it, and then that was too weak, and then...
It feels kind of like an Orcane side B type situation where every version of the move has had an issue in some way.
Yeah, I think Slipstream, sadly, like, I think just mechanically, having like installs for characters where they get better for a period of time just promotes camping wholeheartedly. Like, you see that in like Trainer, you see that in Cloud. Characters will just camp for their like empowered state. Like, you'll see that in Slade. It's the same exact problem. So I think it doesn't feel good across the board, and I think if they wanted to make Raster more, one, accessible, and I think fun, finding some way to rework Slipstream into something that felt more meaningful would probably be.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this one in right idea. I don't think that. I think that maybe this is where it's like, okay, we have a remix rival, right, where we try our ideas first, type thing, right? And also I could see with the remix rivals, right? Let's say if like Renburn's like really heavy or something like that, and then they make Zitterburn lighter. I could see maybe if whatever remix Raster has, it could also have a rippling change like that to make Raster more unique from his remix. I could see something like that, right? So I would like to see them play around with Slipstream a little bit, but I think right now it's the best it's ever been. Is it the best, most interactive move in the game? Maybe not. But you know, baby steps, you know? But next we have Claren's throw game should be bad since her normals are so good. I think this is kind of in the idea where like in Smash Bros or other platform fighters, these swordies have really, really bad throws traditionally. And Claren obviously is not.
Is that even true though? Like,
Marth
has great throws in Melee.
He does, doesn't he? Yeah, I haven't really played a whole lot of Melee. Yeah, he's got the... I guess I'm coming from, like, Ultimate and, like, I've dabbled in PM a little bit. I played a lot of PM as a kid. I think I have a weird relationship with that game.
I feel like Roy has decent throw combos in PM.
Yeah.
Like, probably still does as well.
Yeah, he's got the down throw silliness.
Roy's got good throw combos in Ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're not amazing, but they're not terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a lot of the time, sword characters have good throw games because it's part of that like jab, like it's part of that strike throw mix-up that sword characters are kind of going for. Obviously, Claren's throw game was a little too good for a while, and I think the tipper mechanic just like exacerbated how good Claren's throws were compared to some of the other stuff. I'm not too mad about Claren having a solid throw game, if I'm being honest, especially at the spot where it is right now. It could be a little bit weaker, but I don't think it should be bad. I think if you made her throw game bad on top of the other things that she like semi struggles with right now, she would just feel kind of bad to play and to play against because you would just shield all of the time and it would just be lame.
Yeah, I feel like I think that this is a little bit lost the plot. I could see Claren's throw game getting nerfed a little bit. I don't think it should be an inherently bad throw game though, to me at least. Also, but we can keep it moving. We need more returners instead of new fighters, so maybe people from Rivals 1 need to come back.
No, put this in
Really?
Do you know who we're waiting on?
I'm a big Eliana fan.
Eliana, Malo, and Hodan. That's 4 versions of Satan. That's 4 versions.
Yeah.
Is what we're waiting on. Are you kidding? You want that in the game?
I have a feeling
face.
Those characters, I actually would put this in right idea personally, where it's like you're giving the characters back to people who like them a lot. However, I also do agree with you there, where it's like, well, I mean, like if you want to play in Hell, it's like sure, let's just put Eliana and Sylvanas in the game, right? And like I personally I like to play as an Eliana, I like to play as a Malo. Like I'm the problem, but I'm also like sometimes I sit back and I think at night, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm okay that Malo's can't beat me on ranked. Maybe that made my day better. You know, count your blessings.
I'm just like, consider some of these things. Consider some of them. Let's say they add Hodan to the game, where you charge up your moves by holding down.
Well, yep.
The best thing in the fucking game. Like, can you imagine getting plugged into an instant flash kick that full combos you? Like you'd want to end it.
You're going to the skybox, like wee, like go ahead, sit back, you know, like
hit arrows that hit you for full combo, like.
No, those are awesome though. Lay off goat. I see a lot of casual players. They're like, this game is so inaccessible. Like this character's too weird for a casual player. That Eliana, she's gonna give people aneurysms. That's
Tom just exists to camp. That's all she fucking does. And then Malo, people, much like Snake, will try to convince you that he's cool. But again, you're talking about a game that has shields, a game that has glide tossing, a game where camping is like the primary method of interacting with these characters, a game where shield drop is one of the strongest things in the game, and you're telling me Malo's gonna be fun to play.
No, he's gonna be great. He's gonna be great. Trust. No,
We could probably strike a middle on this. For me, this is a Lamau.
I'm gonna put this one in Lost the Plot because I think it's personally like the right idea where it's like I think we need a mix of returners and new characters, and this year we have not had that. However, last year we also did not have that, right? I remember I had a video that came out at the game's launch, and I was like, I think these will be the next 3 returning characters, and I was right. Because it's so obviously, like, the roster is either, like the super evil character, you know, or, like, a normal, like, fun fighting game character. So I do agree now that you put it that way, it's like, yeah, we are kind of waiting on, like, the actual devil to join the roster, like, you know.
The other thing that this has to have a huge asterisk beside is the devs are putting new devils in the game. Like, it's not like Slade's not also a devil, and GUI looks the same. So, like, again, this take gets less bad when you realize that they're just putting in other, like, actual.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's like U.S. presidents, kind of. Like,
You know versus the devil you don't kind of thing.
yeah.
Like, am I taking a bet on Slade and GUI or fucking Malo and Palm?
Yeah,
Being honest, like, it's close. They're just everything.
yeah. Next, speaking of our little friend Gui, though, I had someone write in that they were very upset with his inclusion because Gui is a character only for casuals. What do you think about that?
Only for casuals?
Yeah, they were like, this moveset does not appeal to competitive players at all. This is a character built for casual players with in mind, so that like cheapens this kit.
No, this character will see competitive.
I'm putting him in the Lamau tier. That's I was kind of hovering over it before he even said anything. I think that
Not a lot, but like,
yeah, I think that Gui is probably a character where it's like, sure, they definitely had like a Kirby archetype in mind, right? But there's obviously more than Kirby going on here, right? So I don't think that he's going to be banned to like a low tier forever. He's like just a noob casual pick, you know? I don't think that's the case.
6 jumps, decent airspeed, and like a forward air and up air that kill you.
Yeah,
Like that automatically that's good. Like,
yeah,
there's nothing about that that's not instantly at least decent.
yeah.
Oh, this is not definitely a character that will see competitive.
He's going to walk you to the side blast zone, and you're going to say, this is for casuals.
I mean, he might be dog shit on release like the last 4 characters, but like they'll get him there eventually. Like,
Next, we have Rivals 2 should prioritize casual modes instead of comp updates and ports. Or no, they should prioritize casual modes over comp updates and then get ports done. I'm going to also put this one in Lost the Plot. I don't think we need a lot more casual content. Yeah, it was kind of the same as the last take.
I think ports are important for them to get to, but like
Mhm.
the people playing the game currently are competitive players, and so then why would you not appeal to the people who are actually playing and paying for the game?
Yeah. This one, I actually think that, because we've been chilling in the bottom half of the tier list for a good minute, I kind of like this one. You should lose your ledge invincibility whenever you use a move. So this was specifically talking about like Rano being able to click like back air off ledge, or like maybe like a Galvin, or like even like Orcane, my bestie, he can do it too sometimes, right? Where you just kind of drop zone and get move out.
Pretty much everyone can do it.
Mhm.
I'm of 2 minds about this because I agree with this if you're
Mhm.
coming back to the stage. So like when you're doing like drop down ledge hop fair or
Mhm.
drop down ledge hop or drop down double jump like side B, what Zedabird always does from the ledge. I want that to not have invincibility. That shit's annoying, and it like
Mhm.
cheapens Let's Play, in my opinion. But then also, I like it when I'm like edge guarding. So,
Gotcha.
like, if I've grabbed the ledge and using the invincibility on my refreshes to hit you because you're side being to the ledge, I think that's one of the only meaningful ways in this game to like contest people just going to the wall and teching.
Yeah, I actually do agree. So,
It has a place at top level. I think the unfortunate consequence is it makes getting off the ledge easier, but I think you make recovery so much better and reversals so much easier to do that it's hard to justify getting rid of it carte blanche.
gotcha. Do we want to put it in its safe or right idea or Lost the Plot, do you think? Where do we want this one at?
Idea, because
Okay, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah.
there's a conversation to be had about what ledge play looks like currently and if it's where they want it to be. I like this take.
I like where ledge play is at personally, but I do agree there are some buttons where it's like a Zetterburn Fireball, for example, where it's like, okay, like I could see a few less of those coming off the ledge, you know? Next we have, speaking of Zetterburn, actually, he has one of these. The Gatling combos are too safe and easy. This person was specifically saying that they felt very spammable, and like it was kind of just like a click this button, it's pretty safe, like the dash attack, and then you win with the up strong. I'm not sure how I feel about this one.
Other than Zetterburn.
I think it's just Zetter, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah. I think this was a Zetterburn player, though, saying this. I think they were like, I get too much value from this option, it feels kind of corny and cheesy. I'm not sure if I feel a certain kind of way about this one, though, because it is like just a Zetter balance thing.
It is it's a strong option. Don't get me, especially because it beats floor hug. But it only beats floor hug if you're pressing a button, right? Like you can floor hug the dash attack and then shield the up smash, and then you get a full punish. But like I imagine at lower levels of play, people just don't do that, and so it feels like unstoppable god reward option, especially because Zetterburn's so fast. I think this is a pretty safe take.
Okay. I think that dash attack could maybe be more DIable, so Zetter would have to mix up his timing a bit, like something like that, but I don't think, like, whenever I think of things that I would nerf on Zetterburn, this is not one that comes to mind. No, yeah.
It's something that you could hit. It is safe, it is pretty easy. Again, I think it's probably over-centralized at like lower levels of play, but I think once you get to a higher level, this is not.
This is not something that I ever get hit by very often. But
less concerned about this than down air, is what I'll say.
Yeah, that down air, that move does everything. Next we have shields should be weaker. So this person was just kind of saying, like, shields feel like too safe of an option, right? Like, you're not really disincentivized ever from holding a shield.
I think this is another safe take.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
The devs actually disagree with this. I wouldn't be surprised to see this make it into a patch.
Maybe in the next patch. Yeah, I would not be shocked either. Yeah.
Yeah, you can take a lot of shield damage right now, and it doesn't feel super consequential. So I wouldn't mind seeing shields be a little bit weaker.
Yeah, I agree. Next, we had a take from someone with a strongly worded write-in, but they said, basically in summary, the devs hate zoning, and so they have removed zoning from Rivals 2. I think I'm biased on this one, because as we were talking about, I think they specifically meant like camping or like projectiles or like forcing slow play. I find that to be the least fun part of a fighting game, right? Whenever someone is like, I'm on my side of the stage, I have 6 projectiles to throw at you, my name might be Palm, it might be Malo, and you have to come and find a way to hit me. I don't find that to be super fun. And I think that Rivals is pretty careful with it, but we don't have like a zoner in the game yet, even. So
Slade is a zoner. I would
Gotcha.
be comfortable saying that. If you see how the top Slades have to play,
Mhm.
I don't think you'd argue with it.
I almost wonder though, is Slade a zoner by design, do you think, or is it because of his state of balance? Exactly, yeah.
He's a zoner by necessity because it's the only thing he can do that is like
Yeah.
high safe.
That's how I think of Slade, where it's like he's not a zoner, but you need to camp with him, right? So
Which is again part of why he's bad. But
yeah.
I don't think the devs hate zoning.
No, I don't think so either, yeah.
I think the game is pretty slow as is. And you see characters like Fleet, Absa, Rano, Slade. There's a lot of characters that can play a pretty slow zoning game, like Lorena, if you really wanted to.
Yeah, I like that. Whenever Lorena was like newer, you made a video on her about how you should play her as like a trapper character almost, which I thought, yeah, that was like she was like new, and I liked that idea a lot. Like I was a big fan of that video, so I think I'm gonna put this one in the Lamau tier. I think we're pretty safe, unless you want to put it in the Lost the Plot.
I can concede that there's not like a pure zoner in the game. And I think that's probably by design.
Yeah.
But like the devs don't hate slow play, and they don't hate. Have you seen Dan play?
I fought Dan on ranked. That was the worst 20 minutes of my life. So sorry, Dan. Like, see you lots of love.
Every time I run into Dan, I make a point to just like almost take him to time. I just camp him.
Yeah, it's
Toronto. It's
yeah. Whoa, you're like the evil like terrorizing him. He's gonna take the game offline. He's like, I've lost to Nurse's Rano too many times. Like, I'm pulling the plug. Like, we're done. Yeah, I've only bumped into him like once, I think. Next, kind of on this same line, we have camping is too strong. So this is almost the opposite take.
I mean, I think this is universally agreed upon.
I'm gonna. Do we even want to move it up to right idea? I feel, yeah. For me, there's actually one coming up. I don't know where it is. We've got a handful more to tackle. Whereas like parrying projectiles is too good or too weak. And I feel like we could almost have more things to help us deal with projectiles. I feel like there should be more incentives to approach, less incentives to click a projectile, you know? But maybe that's just me.
No, I agree. Camping is really strong in this game. Like, if this was not a popular opinion, I would put this in no notes. I would be fine to move it to no notes if you
Sure. We don't have anything there yet, so let's do it.
pretty common sentiment that camping in this game is very strong. Watch any top player other than Plum, right? Like, there's no disrespect to like Cake or anything like that, but like Cake hasn't run with anyone in 3 years. Like,
He's stuck on a mid tier. He's on a mid tier, you know? If Force Burns low tier, he can't do it. He has to camp.
Cake's a great player. He just
Mhm.
camps. Like, that's just
Yeah.
two things can be true. You can be really good at camping. So
I will say, as someone who did spend a good minute playing Ultimate, unfortunately, because that's just what my local team played, camping in Rivals 2 is not as bad as Ultimate, but that game is, like, abysmally bad at camping. Like, if we ever did get to that level, it's like we need to find a new game.
yeah, Rivals is not as bad because the movement options allow
Yeah.
a little bit more flexibility. I think if you could move in Ultimate the same way that you can move in Rivals,
Mhm.
the aggressive play in Ultimate would actually be quite a bit stronger.
Yeah, I definitely do agree. Next we have, this one's pretty safe to me. I don't know if we need to linger on it for too long. There's no Rivals 2 tier list, that's correct. Which I every single day I see a new tweet with a new tier list, and I say, yeah, like you're at it. So I feel like that's safe. Do you have anything to add to that one? No? Okay. Next, we have one that you might have some words for. Designs like Lorena's are inherently unhealthy since they invalidate some defensive options. So I think this is referring to like the hit grabs not having as much interactivity as maybe some other options.
That's what they're designed to do.
Yeah.
Like, they're designed with that in mind. It's not like they accidentally.
Yeah. They didn't. Oh, this is like a byproduct of this. It's like, no, like that's how she's made. I think I'm comfy putting this one in Lost the Plot, because I could see this being an issue for someone if they had stuff that invalidated defensive options unintentionally, but that's not something that's going on.
Yeah, like if it was an accident and she was just beating some defensive options,
Mm-hmm.
cause,
But Claren apparently, like, her tipper beat Floor Hug on a patch where it wasn't intended to.
yeah, like that would be unhealthy.
Yeah.
It's like you're supposed to have counterplay there, but you know
Mhm.
that's going in,
Yeah.
right? Like you know that that's something that she does, and that's part of like a uniqueness of the character's strength, and I think it changes how you have to play against her. I don't think that's inherently unhealthy. I think that encourages like unique matchups and unique ways to
Yeah.
approach a specific character. I think, again, maybe this is a hot take, but I think the way you have to play against Lorena and the way that you get to play Lorena as a result of her strengths are some of the most unique in the game in a positive way.
I agree. I'm not sure if everyone would say positive. I would say positive. I see where this person got here. Like, I see the math that they did. I don't agree with it. I think their math is maybe a little bit wrong. I definitely, I think I lean more towards your take where it's like, I think that if every character played the exact same way, that's not very interesting. And I think that where Rivals gets its uniqueness is because all the characters play so uniquely, right? Like, I think that if we smoothed out what made each rival unique, the game would not be as interesting at all. But speaking on that topic, we have our next take. Rivals is more than a Smash clone and should lean away from Smash-inspired designs.
Again, no disrespect to this person, but this opinion doesn't mean anything. You actually, and this is gonna get a little philosophical. You haven't actually said anything. You haven't actually made a statement. You haven't made a point, right? Like if we think about how logic works,
Mm-hmm.
if you believe something, right? You say, because of X thing and Y thing, I've gotten to Z conclusion. This take doesn't say anything because it doesn't actually assign any value to the Smash mechanics based on what they are, other than the fact that they are Smash mechanics.
Yeah.
You haven't applied any actual value to something based on something real. You've applied value to it based on.
You've seen this before, and you don't like the reference, right? I enjoy like a little reference. I don't know. Like I'm not mad that Gooey has jumps like Kirby, right? Like that doesn't make me upset. I'm not mad that Slade's forward air swings twice like Link's, right? Like I don't.
Again, there's something to be said. Like if all of the Smash mechanics were bad and unfun,
Yeah.
interactive, then yeah, lean away from them. But don't lean away from them because they're Smash mechanics. Lean away from them because they're unfun. or because they're bad.
Yes, yeah, there's like a nuance to it, right?
The quality of the mechanic or the thing that you're referencing, as opposed to just the fact that it references something else. I think
Yeah.
a Lamau take, simply because philosophically I can't get behind it. You haven't said anything!
Yeah. I think the idea is like, oh, it just feels like uninspired, but to me it feels like it's like if you play different fighting games, right? Like there's characters in Street Fighter, and then there's a character that might probably play a little bit similar to them in another traditional fighter, right? So to me it's like, yeah. To me it just also just makes sense. It's like, okay, you have an archetype that's been popular in Smash Bros. For like 20, 30 years, right? And then we're just getting rid of it completely. Like that feels a little bit weird. Like I almost think that those kind of characters are good for bringing players in, where they're like, okay, like I love Wolf in Ultimate, right? So I'm gonna go and play Zetterburn, right? Or it's like, oh, like I love cheating and like being dishonest, so I'm gonna pick up Slade, you know? Like I feel like it's like, you know what I mean? Like you need those kind of mechanics there. Next we have story mode should be low priority.
Agree, and I think this
Okay.
crazy hot take.
I don't think so.
Notes, but
Really. I think that I can bump it up to no notes. I have a feeling that story mode is gonna come out, and it's not going to be... I think that people want like a replayable mission, they want something where it's like super unique, they want to relive being like 9 and playing like Subspace Emissary. I'm not really sure if Rivals 2 can recapture you being 9 years old and playing Subspace Emissary.
the cool part of Subspace Emissary was the characters.
Exactly, yeah. So it's like, yeah, we're missing like Samus and Pikachu chilling together, you know?
I think story mode is a fine thing to come out when the game gets ported,
Mm-hmm.
to get more like immediate buys on something like console and more like immediate buy-in.
Mhm.
I think that's what it should be prioritized for. Until that is ready, this does not matter. I don't think at all.
Yeah, and I think that the devs...
In the Rivals lore, that is
Yeah.
already interacting with the game. Like nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, I see some artists that are like really into like the Rivals lore and the characters, and then they don't play as much, but outside of like maybe like those select like 4 or 5 people, shout out to you if you're watching. I really doubt that you've made it this far, but you know what? Hello, hi! I feel like, yeah, this is not, to me, it should be a low priority. I feel like we need more things like DLC, comp updates, like skins, things that actually sell, more than like a free chapter 1 story mode right away. Just to me.
Respect as well. And this is gonna come across rude, and it's not meant to be. Is the strengths of the core of the Rivals 2 dev team writing? Is that
Well-
what they are good at?
Sound off down below. I know you guys are watching. Say hi. Follow me on Twitter, please. It's @Matthew8. So go ahead, let me know. You know?
You're very creative, all right? You have good vision for characters. There's a lot of things that you do well. The mechanics in Rivals 2 are crispy clean. The skins are cool. They're inspired. Do we believe in the core dev team of Rivals 2 to write a story that anyone cares about beyond the people who are already embedded?
Well, you know what? You said it. You know, so you can get hate on it.
Yeah, you can hate me. You can hate me
You know what? I'm a cosign.
at certain things, and I'm sure they could write a serviceable story. I don't think they're bad. But, like, the story that you would need to get people to buy this game that weren't interacting with it would need to be generational.
Maple would like have to die.
And I don't know if that is in their wheelhouse enough.
Yeah. They killed off Gooey. They're not scared of it, you know? He hadn't even come out yet, and they were like, this dude's dead, so...
A little spice here and there. That is good. And it doesn't need to be more than that. It just needs to be enough to get you to buy in to the character, where they're from and what they're doing. Anything more, again, I think you're getting a little ambitious for what's in their wheelhouse. And different people are good at different things,
Yeah.
right? You don't see me writing.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way, yeah. I draw really pretty thumbnails, but you know what, you're not going to see me writing any kind of scripts, screenplays, Broadway performances. I won't be on one of those, sadly, you know. Next we need a full stage list reset. So this person actually worded it with, we need to rotate out 4 to 6 new stages, or old stages. and get in 4 to 6 new ones to keep the stage list fresh.
This would be sick.
I think this seems really cool. I hope that even yearly we have 2 new stages and 2 go. That would be my ideal rate, I think. Maybe even 3.
This would be cool in terms of keeping stuff fresh and like rotating out stages that don't get picked as much, or stages that people don't like. I think easily Fire Capital and Harbor could go, and no one would miss them that badly.
Chill. Those are my goats.
But like you could even rotate out like what's the one with the rotating platform heights?
Tempest Peak.
Tempest Peak. You could rotate that out. Like people don't go there super often. You could rotate out Rockwall for a time.
No. How would I choose people?
You could rotate out Ethereum Forest. Like there's a bunch that you could pull in and out. So I think this would be a cool idea. I don't know if the game needs this.
I'm gonna put it in it.
Would help keep it fresh, and if they were trying to like, again, some way monetize this where they could sell stage skins, if that was something that was feasible, I think that would be a good idea.
I'm gonna put this in right idea. I think that the keyword like need is maybe like a little bit too strong, right? Maybe that's on me and I didn't summarize their take very well in my little 1x1 square where I gotta summarize it. But I think that we could benefit from some stage refreshes, you know? Like that would not make me so upset. Next we have the game needs more easy characters. So this was like an idea where like it's too hard for people to pick up one individual character. I think we need more technical and advanced characters, and that's the next one. I feel like we have a lot of characters where you pick them up and they maybe have 1 or 2 moves that act like a little wacky and weird that you have to get a hold of, right? Or maybe like there's a little bit more skill expression with like a Crag like Neutral Air, right? Where it's like, okay, I landed hit 3 of this move instead of the final hit because I did some hitfall shenanigans and I got a certain knockback angle, right? But to a casual player, you are not exploring the nuances of Crag Neutral Air, right? Crag is just easy for you to pick up. I think that Rivals is full of easy characters with like 1 to 3 hard ones, maybe, for a beginner to pick up.
Yeah, I've interpreted this a little differently, and I
Gotcha.
heard on stream not that long ago,
Uh-oh.
where I basically crashed out and said that Rivals needs more normal guys.
Okay.
And what I meant by that is like characters that just like do normal things, that play neutral in a normal way with regular buttons that are just good, and have punish games that work as they like. It's a little boring, it's a little white bread, but there's no normal guys in this game. And for a little while, I think Olympia was a normal guy.
Yeah.
He was just a normal guy that was too strong.
And they killed her.
And then she became a normal guy that was just high tier. They nerfed her again, and now she's a normal guy that just is awful.
Yeah.
But there's no normal guys in this game. There's no normal fellas that you just pick up and all their moves just work how you think that they would fucking work. I think the closest thing this game has to a normal guy, weirdly enough, is Galvin. Because you can just like if you just disregard the drills, he's got a bunch of normal guy moves. And so I've interpreted this not as easy, but as like normal.
Gotcha.
Like just like approachable in some degree and just like standard. I want more of those in the game just because those are kind of like, I feel like you need a couple, and I feel like right now Rivals has none.
I could see it, yeah. I feel like Rano, to me, is kind of... He doesn't feel too crazy. I'm trying to think who else.
Like I play Rano because he's approaching normal guy.
Yeah.
Zetterburn's pretty normal guy. Olympia's a normal guy, but like that's kind of it.
Yeah, I can see it.
I don't think the game necessarily needs more easy characters. A lot of characters in the game are pretty easy. I think if you're looking for beginner characters. That being said, I think there's no like medium characters in this game. You know what I mean? Like they're either butt
Yeah.
or they're super.
The hardest character you've ever played, it's like you have to have the frame perfect Atlas like dash attack into everything, and like you're clicking 20 buttons in 2 seconds, you know?
Because I'm like, look at like Claren, Loxodon, Zetterburn, Galvin. Like these characters are piss easy.
Yeah.
But then you look at like Raster, Absa, and Slade, and it's like you have to put in like a lot of time
Yeah.
to start seeing reward with those characters. So I think even like more so than easy characters, the game could just use more like mid-range characters.
Gotcha. I think I'm gonna put this one in it's safe.
Yeah.
For that, where it's like, sure, like we can get more easy characters. Next, we have the game needs more technical characters, which is something that I like a technical character where they have like one mechanic that's really technical that you can really unpack and dive into, and then the rest of their kit is pretty normal, right? Kind of like a Lorena chair type thing, right?
That's exactly what I was thinking of. I was like,
Yeah.
Lorena is the best example of a technical
Mm-hmm.
opinion in the game. And again, I'm a Lorena lover, so that's my bias.
Yeah.
I think Lorena is really cool and well designed. And yes, she could use some nerfs, but like broadly speaking, I like what she does, and I think there's a lot of room for freedom with her that other characters don't have, which is super cool, especially once you master her mechanics. I don't think, and again, this is gonna come across as mean, which I don't mean it to, but I don't know if the devs really know how to make a character technical or not on purpose.
I can see it, yeah. Like, it's like, yeah.
I would argue that, like, Slade is probably the most technical character in the game.
But he's, like, inherently made to be technical by having, like, his tech locked behind tight inputs. Almost.
And, like, I think he was made to be technical. And at the same time, part of the reason he's technical is because they just threw a bunch of stuff at the wall to try and, like, somehow make it stick.
It's up to you. It's like, he's got, like, a few little, like, popsicle sticks holding him up, and you gotta turn those popsicle sticks into swords, you know? And it's like, how do you do that, right? Like, it's not necessarily he's technical because his technical things are strong. It's he's technical because nothing else is strong on him.
Characters like Absa, like, the technical stuff behind her isn't necessarily the result of the devs. It's just the result of, like, how her double jump mechanics work. And the Cloud adds to that, which I think, like, good on their part for making that a unique part of the kit. But then, like, a lot of her technicality is just taken away by, like, Zip, especially at a low level, right? Where that's, like, not technical at all, but just gets you a bunch of reward, especially when people don't know what to do about it.
Yeah. I had a bunch of Smash players enter one of my Rivals locals that I hosted, and Absa had just come out, and I like, mashed that on them. I was like, sorry guys! Like, they were like, what? You can move after that? I was like, yup, like, you're getting comboed.
And I think Raster and Lorena are technical because their win condition is 0 to deaths. So you just have to know how to...
You have to be good at advantage. Yeah.
Like, and you just have to know your spots.
Mm-hmm.
And so, again, does that feel like meaningful technicality? And it is worth mentioning as well that the devs did not design Lorena.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And so the best example of something technical in the game, which I believe is Chair, didn't come from them. To some degree, like, what are you asking for and what are you getting out of it? I think if you have more characters that have, like, a maple tier of technicality where you get used to, like, the vine combos, which add a little something here and there, if you're able to find another way to add something like Lorena's Chair, right? Like, some people would argue that the tippers are technical insofar as getting them over and over.
I feel like a little bit of delusion's healthy, though, you know? I feel like everyone needs some level of that.
Again, I'm down with characters that are a little bit harder, but they have to be rewarding.
Yeah, the technical stuff needs to be rewarding. I feel like I've seen a lot of characters where it's like their easy buttons are the more rewarding ones. And to me, that's such a bummer. It's like, okay, why would I go for the hard tech whenever I have this consistent, easy, and better button? So I'm going to also put this one in its safe, I think, unless you want to move it.
No, I'm happy with
But, gotcha.
It's just a really hard thing to get into. Because you get into where it's like, if you make a technical character, you want them to be good. But then what does mastering the technique, like, actually manifest in?
What are you getting out of it? Yeah.
People find oppressive, because at a top level, people are going to have the technique. And then how do you balance that? And I think, again, Olympia was a character that, after her first rounds of nerfs, actually, in my opinion, was pretty technical in terms of what you had to do with her. You weren't really seeing a bunch of people just pick up Olympia and do well. It was mostly good players picking up Olympia. And they killed her because of it. So
Yep.
I don't know if they even want that.
Yeah. Next we have an interesting take. Furry designs give gamers the ick and turn them away. So, definitely a far removed topic from what we were just now on.
Really funny. Yeah. I think for anyone who's used to playing Smash or like Smash adjacent things, this probably doesn't show up.
Gotcha.
to. But I think if you're trying to pitch this game to like your normie friends in the same context as Smash, this definitely comes up.
Yeah, because to me, whenever I first picked up Rivals 1, I picked it up on like a crazy good sale. Like I was like, it was like 2018 or something like that. I didn't even realize it was like a furry game until someone pointed it out. I was like, oh yeah, like I guess it is, isn't it? You know, like it
I didn't really think of it like that either.
yeah.
I also think quite a few of the designs of the game are quite endearing. Like, as much as you might have problems with Lorena, Slade, and Gooey, those three designs are like premium. Like,
Yes. Yeah.
pretty good, and they're very endearing. So
Also,
don't think this is a weakness of the game at all.
I think it gives the game identity. I would almost argue that if you made all the Rivals characters just people, the game would be like severely lacking in character identity. I think it's really hard to market an original IP as a fighter. And I think that Rivals does it well, and its characters are all recognizable. I think I'm gonna put this one in Lamau tier, just because I feel like it's like this maybe turns off people who like the Valorant, they like the FIFA, right? And I'm not sure if those are people that would like Rivals 2's gameplay to begin with. Right, so I see the point, I see how we got here. And also like Rivals' like furry designs are not like there's some crazy furry designs out there, you know, like we've all seen them. This is not what this is, you know. We've got some different, you know. Next we have floaties are too hard to combo and should have worse disadvantages. I don't agree with this one. I play Orcane, who's like, I have like a pretty good ladder in my kit already, so maybe that's why I don't feel that way. I think I'm trying to put this one in Lamau. Like I don't want to see. I could almost put it in Lost the Plot, but like I don't want floaties to have a worse disadvantage. I don't think that's needed.
It used to be true.
Yeah, the betas
Was true when it just didn't die. It was really fucking annoying, especially when Raster was top tier. But they changed it pretty heavily. And what happens is, like, yeah, they're hard to combo, but like if you up strong Raster with Lorena, he dies at 75. Like, that's
Yeah.
your trade-off. You need to actually win less. And you get rewarded way more for like meaningful reads. I think this is just like a difference in how you play against them. And you have characters like Slade actually who are uniquely good against floaties. He gets a bunch of like actually solid options that he doesn't get against the fast followers, and I think that's actually one of the things that the devs got right with Slade. And I don't know if they don't know if they did it on purpose, but Slade is uniquely good against floaties, and I think that is cool to have in the game.
I think it gives some more interesting like depth as like a secondary type character, especially where it's like I have Slade to cover these matchups, right? I've seen a sideways branch of this plot where people thought that fast followers were too hard to combo whenever Olympia first came out. I think that was like also a skill issue moment. I feel like just comboing any kind of character where it's like their way is like a little bit different always feels a little bit weird, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's a bad thing. It's just you're not used to it, which is fine.
Throws Olympia and just 0 to Deathser, so that's
Yes. Yeah. Next we have the devs hate and over nerf heavies.
it's not. Craig was the best character in the game for like a year and a half. What the fuck are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna put that one in the Lamau tier. I'm gonna make the boss move. I think that heavies and Rivals 2 are so brilliantly designed. I think they're really, really cool in this game. That's just like a Lamau, like what you.
We had Galvin in top 8 of Evo.
Yeah. So the heavies in this game are all fine. They're all solid. Like
Reina's the top tier.
yeah. Like it could like some of the fighters use like a little bit of love, like maybe like even debatably not though. You know, it's like I wouldn't.
The buff Edelus? Like really?
I'm not. You're not seeing that from me. So yeah.
Like Lorena, Crag, and Lockdown are all considered like top meta contenders. And
Yeah.
Galvin making top 8 at Evo. Like the heavies are good.
Yeah.
And they've been good. Like again, Crag was arguably the best character in the game for over a year.
Next we have, this is an interesting one. This kind of goes back to our first like ledges should be gone. Drift DI should be in Rivals 2. They had like a big list of like there's a lot of band-aid mechanic fixes to make Drift DI not a thing in this game. I'm okay putting this one in Lost the Plot or Lamau. I don't know how egregious you feel like this take is.
I don't think it's in Lamau.
Gotcha.
I do think it is in Lost the Plot. Again, just like the game's not made with it in mind. I don't think it makes the game meaningfully better to add it. I think it works in Rivals 1 because Rivals 1 is a different game.
Yes. Yeah.
On Drift DI, you have to remake what the game plays like, and at that point, it's like,
Why? Yeah. You're not. I feel like Rivals 2 is good. People play Rivals 2 compared to like the average non-Smash platform fighter. It's obviously lived longer than a lot of those. I feel like why make like a big system change like that if you don't need to? You know what I mean? Next we have characters should not have patches soon after they're released. You need to wait at least 1 to 2 months.
they do. They wait a month of
Yeah.
time. Do they not?
I think that some characters have gotten like quick like little fixes. Like I think that Absa had a wave dash fix. Like maybe like
Playable.
Yeah.
I hate this take because they keep releasing weak characters. This, if they weren't making the characters bad on purpose, but I know that they are. So, like, I can't agree with this.
I also know we're pretty far into this video, so no one snitch. I know that behind the scenes, the characters in the early builds are very strong, and they get brought down for the release build. And then they're brought back up once the devs figure out what people are abusing and what people are having trouble with. So we can keep that one hush mode, but it's on purpose. Yeah.
Slade got nerfed significantly 4 days before he came out.
In the creator build, because I remember my appendix burst, and I had played a really strong version of Slade, and I sat in that hospital for 10 days, and I was like, I can't wait to go play Slade. And I got out, and I was like, what is this? Like, this is not what I played. So
they're making them weak on purpose.
Yeah.
So you can't do this.
Yeah.
And I think, again, this, like, you're like, oh, but what if they overbuff a character? But, like, that, again, that just hasn't happened.
It hasn't, and it's like, oh man, like, the new toy is fun to use. Man, like, it's like, really? Like, you're upset about that, you know? Like,
And again, people might point to Lorena being good right now, but Lorena isn't the best character in the game. Lorena is fun to play, and for spectators, fun to watch. And she's a unique playstyle that brings something engaging to the game. Like, all good things.
Yeah, I don't see an issue with Lorena like that.
You can give her some nerfs now, but even if you didn't, right? It's not the biggest deal of all time. She's not breaking the game down into pieces, and it's not like she's been ruining the competitive integrity of the game. She didn't even do well at EVO. And so, other than one game.
Yeah, she showed up for one game, she made her appearance. She said, hi guys, like, I'm still here, and then well, the tournament ended. Yeah.
And so, I disagree with this pretty wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
They're making...
I think I do too.
And
also, it's like, to me, is it fun if a new character comes out and I'm telling my friends who don't play a ton of Rivals, like, guys, like, let's hop on, let's play. There's a new character, and they try it, and they're like, this feels awful. That's not fun, right? So I almost want those, like, patches to be faster, right? Where, like, it addresses and gets those characters to a playable state, right?
Hard to be excited about the characters, right? When they come out, they just stink.
Yeah, like, I always get really excited for... I mean, I'm sure people know this happens. We get creator access to make videos, right? I get excited for those because I get to play the fun version of the character. And then you all get to play the stinky version of the character, right? So it's like... like, I know how it works now, you know? Yeah, next we have Merchant Port should still be a starter. What do we think about this?
I think it's pretty safe. I like
yeah.
Easily be a starter. You switch it with Mechanical Graveyard. I don't think it's meaningfully different.
Yeah.
It's a hot take. It's pretty...
No. Yeah. I feel like it's pretty safe. I would like this in the game, but I also don't feel like dread and fear because Mechanical Graveyard is a starter. It doesn't bother me either way. Next we have Ethereal Forest should be a counter pick.
I think Ethereal Forest is in a weird spot where they would need a new stage to replace it. But like Ethereal Forest is a couple of characters' best stage. Like I think it's Fleet.
It was like 5 or 6 characters had it, and like we love this stage. Like this is like probably a top 1 or top 2 pick for us.
And I think that's probably not good for a
starter. Yeah.
Replace it in terms of like, because you don't want to add, like if you get rid of Ethereal Forest and add Merchant Port, for example, you're just adding another big stage. So now big stage,
which is not, yeah, it's like not fun. I don't feel like if you, let's say you had 2 big stages in the starter lineup, right? And then we add in those zoners from Rivals 1. right? Now it's like, okay, this is super unfun, like the first game. It's like a counterpick to a, yeah. So,
I think another small stage could be made to replace Ethereum Forest and not be as small.
mhm.
But that stage is currently not in the game. But I think this is a pretty safe opinion.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't have a problem with it. I feel like it's like, sure, like it could be a counterpick, but like we need a little change. Next we have Harbor is a necessary stage as a counterpick. Like this idea is basically like, you have to have at least one or two like weird stages, right?
I think this is the Lamau tier.
Really? Gotcha. I like Harbor. I think it's fun. I don't think that I like it for the wall. I think I like it for the ceiling height, and I like it for the platform layout. Not necessarily. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I whenever I thought about this one, I was like, oh, but I love Harbor. But then I was like, but do I like it for what makes it wacky and weird? And I don't know if I do. I think I just like the fun platform layout. So I'm definitely cool putting this one in.
And ceiling height actually makes for a great counter pick. I think a stage should have it, or they just redo Harbor like they did with Aramata. But we've seen time and time again, even at like the tippy top level of play, the ledges at Harbor just promote camping. And so, like,
Sometimes I don't mind that, because I get to cheese people on ranked if they try to camp me a little bit too hard.
we're just taking people here to cheese them now. Like, that's why do we have a stage on the
Well-
stage list that is like, take people here if you want?
Yeah, it feels very much like they'll take me there and expect to camp me, and I'm on Arcane. So it's like, sure, like, we can play off stage if you want. We can go there. Like, I will not be mad about fighting you underneath that little platform on Harbor off the stage. Like, you know.
Fair.
So I definitely do. I agree with the idea where it's like, I like some aspects of Harbor, but the wall is a little bit like, I could do without that. But next though, we have Rivals needs more aggressive knockback scaling. This poster said that they did not like how moves scaled in this game. They thought that moves should launch further at higher percents.
Like, you should die earlier.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about this one, because I like the idea that you do die earlier. However, Rivals has a lot of moves where it's like, this move will connect into this move at kill percent. And I feel like if you increase knockback scaling, that just happens less.
Yeah, so the problem is, yeah, Rivals does have the problem right now where a lot of characters have like a percentage from like 80 to 110 where they just kill you.
Mhm.
And then if you go above like 120, they just need a stray hit, and then they don't kill you till like 140, 150. I think you just kick the problem down the curb if you give some more aggressive scaling, where instead of like 80 to 110, now it's 60 to 90, and then
Yeah.
try it like 120 to those moves instead.
I think that this could be addressed by targeted balance changes, not an overall blanket more knockback scaling.
It would have to be pretty dialed in on like moves that are only used to find kills at like higher percents. So like if you're looking at like maybe like an Olympia F tilt or something like that, having that scale.
Yeah.
Even that, like how early do you truly want that to kill?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna put this one in Lost the Plot if you're cool with that.
I don't think it's an aggressively bad take, but I think there's nuance that's kind of needed in there.
Yeah. Next we have moves are too fast on in lag and makes whiffing not super scary.
I mean, that's just... It's true. Whiffing in this game is not super scary.
Yeah.
I guess the idea is, do you want it to be super scary?
I think this is another example of like you need to have balancing to specific moves maybe that are too easy to click in neutral, right? Like it's like maybe like an arcane up tilt, right? Like maybe you can click that one a few too many times, right?
Like, I think they've done hits like that. Like Dalvin
Yeah.
is a notable one where you can't just mash that the way that you used to be able to.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're trying to hit moves that are too safe.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously there's still some, but also like if you make moves not whiffable, you also like counterintuitively you encourage people to camp harder.
Yeah, because it's like now I just whiff punish. Yeah.
Now I'm just waiting for you to get bored and hit a button so I can whiff punish you, and there are already characters that do that. Like Claren does that already.
Yeah. Which is not super fun.
So does Zedder.
Yeah.
Loxodon, like all those characters want you to press the button. Slade even wants you to press the button. So I think there's knock-on effects with that. Again, I think your heart's in the right place of like wanting a game that feels more aggressive and feels more like there's punishment involved. But like, I'll give you an example of like, again, I like to use HDR as an example as a game
Yeah.
that's very aggressive. There's not a lot of end lag in that game at all, right?
And it's so fast. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's really fast because everyone's punish game is fucked up bonkers.
Yeah.
Right? And everyone's neutral tools are fucked up bonkers, and everyone's wave dash is fucked up bonkers.
Yeah.
And so, like, there's a way to have a game that is fast, while having moves that have low end lag and having a game that's aggressive. But that maybe isn't the game that you want, right?
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah.
To play HDR. A lot of people are turned off by how punish heavy HDR is.
I think the advantage in that game looks a little bit too crazy for me. Like, it looks too... Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's the point. Like, that's for people that like that.
Cena in HDR and I catch you without your double jump, you're dead at 0.
Mhm.
I will kill you every time. That is just not... That's not how that works in Rivals.
Yeah.
And there are times where I wish it did, because that would make the game more aggressive. But again, that's a different game.
Next, though, we have hitboxes are too generous, so it's kind of hard to land, like, a bad move, right? Like, you're not going to land a bad one.
Again, I think this is... It's something that is on, like, a move-by-move basis.
Mhm.
I think a lot of hitboxes in this game are generous. You have stuff like Clarence up tilt, Zedderbird's down air. I think are 2 examples of hitboxes that are really generous. A lot of Loxodon's moves, like forward air especially, have really generous hitboxes. Fleet
Yep.
has a lot of generous hitboxes, and I think over the course of the patches, they've been dialing in a couple of the, like, uber generous hitboxes.
Mhm.
But you'll even see moves that, like, don't have particularly generous hitboxes. Like Slade forward air 1 has a really ungenerous hitbox.
That move, it's like the secret move in the game. Like, you're never going to actually land that one unless you have, like, the...
It's
yeah.
weirdly small.
Yeah.
Or like Lorena back air, especially on release, was like fucking tiny.
The minuscule,
Uh,
yeah.
It's bigger now. Not bigger. It lingers now, but on release it was active for 2 frames. It was small as hell. So there's a couple of hitboxes in the game that are really big. There's a couple that aren't. But again, I think it's on a move by move basis. I am not too often annoyed by the hitboxes anymore. I think some outstanding ones are, like I said, Clarence up tilt, Zedderburn's there, Loxodon's back air. Have hitboxes that may be a little bit too big, but I think the devs have actually done a pretty good job of dialing this in. Because it used to be way worse.
Yeah. I'm going to put this one in Lost the Plot. I feel like you could do a little bit more to this, but overall, I don't... Like, whenever I think about, like, things I would want to change in Rivals, this is not one of them, right?
Yeah, look at Olympia's down tilt and tell me that the hitbox is too generous. Like,
That move is, yeah. Next we have... This was a take. Remix Rivals are not interesting as a player or as a competitor.
I think this is demonstrably false.
Gotcha. That's where
Um,
I read this one and I was like, really? Like, I think
Like-
it's kind of fun, you know? Like,
Look at Fox Falco.
yeah,
By all accounts, like remix characters, Mario, Dr. Mario, Falcon Ganon, like Fox and
If
Falco
we-
are iconic characters at this point in
Yeah.
platform fighters. So are Falcon and Ganon.
if Renburn is like the Ganondorf to Captain Falcon or like the Fox and Falco to Wolf, like I feel like we have a successful remix character, right?
Yeah.
Like,
think
I
there's
feel like they
a
could
lot
go
of room
so
for, like,
many-
interesting design there for sure.
Yeah. I'm just gonna put that one in Lamau. I just absolutely don't agree.
Yeah,
I
think
understand.
it's demonstrably wrong.
Yeah. I think this might be one of the worst takes. Sorry, like, don't dislike, like, don't click off. Like, I just have to flame you for this one a little bit. Like, if there's a video where I get messy, I feel like it's this one, you know, so.
Of course. I'm
Yeah.
here instigating, so you get
Yeah,
blame
I'm
me,
so happy
blame
the
me
two are.
for-
I get so scared. I had a hot take. I just ranked all the skins in Rivals 2, and I had one where I was like, I almost cut out what I said about the skin. So
Which one?
I'm glad
You have to let me know now.
more people are gonna watch this video than that video. So I guess I can get messy here again. I do not like that top hat Maple. I feel like
Oh,
she needs
yeah.
some kind of. She needs like a suit moment going on, right? Like the plant pals look so great with like their little top hat and monocle.
Yeah.
I think just the top hat and monocle on Maple looks a little Reddit, like it looks a little Milady type moment going on. Like I just, it's in the
I'm on
bundle
board.
with my skin. I love
on
how
board.
my skin
I'm
looks.
on board.
Sorry, I know that Plup designed that skin. I think he
Lock in.
probably texted like, "Can I get Maple in a top hat?" And they were like, "Sure." I think that's probably what the design
Yeah,
process
I imagine
was.
That's probably what he did as well.
My design process, like I mean, like I'm a studio artist. That's my day job. You can see like halfway finished art all on my back wall, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so like obviously I had more involvement, so I don't want to flame anyone too hard, but that skin is just not. I think it's a fun skin, but I just don't think it's.
Hey, that's your hot take for the video.
I'm sorry. I just have
No,
to.
it's okay. We'll rank it. No notes.
I have to shred Maple. That's a yeah. No notes. The Maple in the top hat. She needs to put on a vest or something like that. Next we have another take about Harbor. We had a lot of these. So we have Harbor is an interesting and needed counter pick, and then we have Harbor's the best designed counter pick. I wanted to make those separate.
I mean, it has to also be in Lamau, right? Like
I think so.
fantasy.
We already put the last take in Lamau, and that one's like a softer
Yeah,
take
this
on
is
Rivals.
the best designed one. I feel like you've lost your fucking mind.
Yeah, I like Harbor a lot because I get to cheat. Again, like I play Orcane, like I get to take you off stage. I get to play like you're not gonna touch the wall, you don't make it back. GG. Is that healthy though? I don't think it is. And I'm the one winning there, you know?
Yeah, I think Tempest Peak is the best designed counter pick, but the people aren't ready for that take.
I could see it. I like Merchant Port, but that should probably be a starter. So
I just like Richard Port broadly speaking.
yeah. The game is better without fighters like Eliana and Sylvanos.
Agree.
I think that at risk of being
Yeah,
shredded,
baby.
I'm gonna pop this one up in no notes. As I said, some nights I'm going to sleep and I'm doing my blessings. I'm counting what I'm thankful for on my fingers, and I say I'm glad I didn't fight Eliana today.
Yes.
Sometimes I say that, you
yes.
know. I love Eliana and Sylvanas. They're so fun to play. I hope that for the people waiting for them to come back, they get them back. Sylvanas is much less of an offender than Eliana for sure as well.
Yeah, I'm not. I think you could have said Palm instead of Sylvanos, and this would have been a lot more agreeable.
Or any of the other Rivals 1
Yeah, or Hodan
friends.
or Apollo.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I'm not. I love to play Eliana.
all I'm saying, anyone who is having fun in ranked, you don't want me to have Eliana. That's what I'm telling you.
I see
If
enough.
you get Eliana, I get Eliana.
Yeah.
And then you're not having fun. You don't want me to have it.
I do
I
have
don't
a
want you.
feeling that you will get into some fights and scrap with a few people on Eliana or over Eliana on Twitter. Whenever she does show up, I feel like you will gravitate towards that character, and I think that people will want to tell you everything you say about her is wrong. So I'm excited for that whenever she comes to the game.
It's just like my Eliana would be incredible. You guys don't even know. You think I'm not dominating with a 0 to death character with a pit arrow?
I see what you do with Slade. I see the clips you post on occasion, and you were cooking evil kinds of ideas on that shark. If you have a character that's enabled to cook those evil ideas, and you're not like doing like frame perfect like piloting to get the character to do those evil things, it's like
Yeah, like I just again, we just don't want that evil in the world.
yeah.
Because I'll use the evil. Don't worry. If
Also,
Eliana
like
gets like if they add Eliana or Malo, the first person who's playing those characters is me.
yeah, and we see the things that Lox players do with Meatball. Do you want a character with like better Meatball?
No.
I don't think so. You know, but you know what? I'm gonna put that in no notes. I feel like Sylvanos maybe is a bad one to put there. He kind of got whacked in the crossfire.
Yeah, he did.
I love Sylvanos. I hope he comes back soon.
I
But
think Sylvanos is cool as well.
yeah, I think he's really neat. I also like his design. I like a character on all fours. I think that's like a fun
Yeah.
way to like it's a visual identity I like a lot.
A hot take that's not on here is
Mhm.
that we don't have. There's been no fast characters added as DLC, and we need another fucking fast character.
Yeah, I feel like we had so many of them in the base roster, but I would like to see a quick, fast, lightweight character join the game. We have not had that. That's something that's been every year like I make my DLC predictions like whenever content gets kind of dry, and every single year I have like we need like a fast character, a zoner, and a heavy, right? Like that's my 3, and we've never had that fast character. I thought Slade would be fast, and then I don't know what they fed him. They
giving me PTSD. I thought
They
he was
like-
gonna be fast too.
they like fed him like cement or something like that. They were like.
They made him the slowest character in the game.
Yeah.
Why?
I'm so
Why?
his whole mechanic in Dungeons of Aether was like he was fast, but
That he's fast.
you know I'm not a game designer.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
I'm not prone to making that decision. Next we have pummels are bad for the game, And
bad for the game.
so they did not specify the pummel system or just like general, like if they would want to see like Smash Bros. Pummels in the game, or if they just don't like pummels at all.
I don't know how they're bad for the game.
I think they're good for the
You
game.
can't even
I
use
think
them because they're just not even strong enough. Like,
yeah. I like the idea that like pummeling someone can help remove a mechanic or something like that, right?
yeah,
So I don't know. I feel like pummels, as the game has gone on, have actually gotten, in my opinion, better for the game and more interactive.
yeah.
Um,
I have no problem with pummels.
I'm down to
just
just
lost the
put this
plot.
in Lamau. Or you want to put in Lost the Plot?
Yeah, you put in Lamau. I mean, I don't
Okay.
have any strong feelings about this other than
I-
it just feels wrong.
Well, because for me, like, if I was to put it in Lost the Plot, I feel like I'd be giving it some, like, okay, I see how you got here, but I don't. You know, I'm not.
I think maybe what they don't like is I don't know. I don't know what they don't like. 'Cause pummels are bad
Yeah.
most of the time. Like you don't
Yeah.
see top level players going for pummels very often. So
You
I
would
don't
rather
know.
go
Feel
for, like,
this?
the real confirm
The
on your
guaranteed
grab than,
throw,
like,
yeah.
the extra few percent. Next we have Floor Hug makes neutral too hard.
At this point in the game, I don't agree.
I'm gonna put this one in Lost the Plot. I think that if you're at, like, a mid-level, I could see it. But at low level, people don't floor hug, right? And then at high
Yeah.
level, you know the counterplay to floor hug, and you know what your character has to get around it. So there's this like awkward mid level where people are like sometimes floor hugging, and then sometimes it's a little bit frustrating, but even then it's like not.
But there's so many things that beat floor hug at this point. Like,
Yeah, I'm okay
And
even
really-
actually moving this one to Lamau.
like if you really hate it, pick up Lorena. But like, grabs are so prevalent as is, and they
Mhm.
all beat floor hug. You pick up a character like Zetterburn, down air just beats floor hug. Up strong beats floor hug. Grab beats floor hug. Throwing a projectile beats floor hug. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of things that beat floor hug at this point. I don't think it makes neutral that much harder. I think it makes it a little bit harder,
Yeah,
especially again if you're a character that struggles against it like Raster. But
Yeah.
not everyone's Raster.
yeah, exactly. Like it's like you have a tool probably somewhere in your kit to beat this,
And like,
so it just
again,
feels kind of
when characters don't have diverse options that beat floor hug, you can make the argument that it makes neutral boring.
Mhm.
Like
yeah
the way
for sure.
that Slade plays neutral at low percent is he just down strongs. That's all he
Yeah.
fucking does because that's all. Like that's just what he.
All
has
he
to
really
beat floor
can
hug.
do. Yeah, it's like his
Yeah.
one.
But that's good, and it's not particularly hard to down strong. It's just like
Yeah.
it's boring. But that's not what this take is. So I don't think it makes it too hard.
Next we have this one actually, because I put out this form maybe 2.5 weeks ago. So this one maybe it's had some discussion recently. Recoveries are too weak. Players are just bad at ledge guarding.
Recoveries are too weak. You think they should be stronger?
Yeah, I think that this person thinks that. I think this is another one where maybe it's like some recoveries could maybe use like a touch of love. Across the board, I don't think the recoveries are too weak.
So I do agree that people are bad at edge guarding. But I don't think that the recoveries are too weak. I think recovery should be a bad spot. I would put this in Lamau.
Yeah,
I think
so
the
too.
only recovery that you could make an argument is too weak is Slade's. And even then,
Yeah.
once he has wing, it's not even weak anymore. So
No, it's not.
I
I think that Olympia's recovery is also pretty weak, but it's designed to be weak. I think it's other parts of her kit that need to be buffed, not her recovery.
yeah, and I
You
think
know.
she would feel fine if she did anything on stage to compensate for that, but
Yeah,
she doesn't.
so yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they're too weak. Though I do agree that players are bad at ledge guarding. The amount of
I've
people I
definitely-
see that don't know how to
yeah.
ledge guard Lorena still pisses me off.
Yeah. I feel pretty good at it, but I also get the like, I'm gonna drop down, I hit you with my nair, and then I go to my puddle. So I get like the cheater button, you know.
And also, like, a lot of characters get a lot of chances, which is
Mhm.
fair. Like, I get that. But, again, I think offstage should be a bad spot. Like, if you get knocked deep off stage at 90, like, it should be tumultuous about whether you get back or not. I feel like that's on by design.
Yeah. Next we have, I try to leave off ones that were about like specific characters, but I thought this one was a bit more interesting. This one was Maple should have a bigger hitbox. Her being small to hit, like her like tiny hitbox is kind of boring whenever you fight her.
Kind of boring.
I've been letting you go first. I do not agree with this one, but I think that if every character was small and hard to hit, this would be an issue. But they're not. It's just, just Maple.
And also,
So-
I guess, for me, I'm like, when's the last time you missed a move against Maple?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mainly
For
miss
me,
moves
that
against
doesn't
her
happen very
because
often.
she's fast, not because she's small. You know?
Yeah. Like I get maybe you can't do certain stuff as shield that you can do against the bigger characters, but
Mhm.
like, or certain rising aerials, but like, for me, I can't remember the last time I threw out a move against Maple and I was like, oh, that missed because she's small. Like, I feel like that just doesn't happen to me.
Yeah, moves are
I don't
pretty
know how
consistent
often
in
that's
this
happening
game.
to other people.
Yeah. I'm good to put this one on Lamau. I don't feel. I mean, I see where they're coming from, so maybe we can even put this in Lost the Plot, because I
Yeah, I'm
see
gonna
what they
put it
mean,
there.
but I would not make Maple larger. You know, that's not a change that I would make. Next we have Floor Hug, keeps the game fast and engaging. So,
I don't think the game is fast, so I don't agree. I guess again from like a philosophical standpoint, I don't agree with the premise. But
gotcha.
I don't think Floor Hug contributes super significantly to what makes the game campy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like this one can't be below It's Safe, because Floor Hug is not what makes it campy, you're right.
But like,
But at the same time,
it contributes a little, but again, it's not like the primary thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you want to put this one in It's Safe, or do you feel like it should be lower even?
I like keeps the game fast and engaging.
I think the
Like,
idea is like it's like
in what way does it keep the game engaging as well? Like,
you're not holding shield as much, I guess. Like your defensive options are more. You have more defensive options that are quicker than like a shield
yes,
drop.
and like sometimes there's things you do and don't want to floor hug, so that like can
Yeah.
be interesting. I don't know. At the same time, like floor hugging is annoying, and sometimes it makes the game boring. Like in Slade's case, I think is a good example where you just have to down strong at 0.
And that's not super fun.
That's
Yeah,
not
I
fast
agree.
or engaging at all. And that's a direct result of floor hugging. So I think sometimes this is true and sometimes this is not true.
Gotcha. I'm
I
going
would
to
have
put
it
it in Lost the
between
Plot or
It's Safe
Safe.
and Lost the Plot, but I'm fine to put it in Lost the Plot.
Gotcha. Next we have Rivals 2 should have HDR style floor hugging, which from what I've been told is half hit stun. That's what this person put. I don't play HDR like that, so I'm not sure if this is correct.
Do. Again, I don't know if the people who currently play Rivals could handle HDR at a
Yeah.
competitive level.
That game's a little. It's a lot.
Again, like I was probably a top 10 player in HDR when I was playing it pretty consistently, and I really like it because the game really rewards good movement, it rewards good punish game, and it rewards consistency. All of which I really like.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, the game, you will get boomed for making mistakes.
Yeah.
And Floor Hug will not save you. Like Lucina is out here. Again, I say Lucina because that's my favorite reference, but like Chrom does this, Marth does this. Lucina can up tilt you at 15%, and you're in a combo. You are not floor hugging the up tilt. You are not going into tumble unless you crouch cancel it. Like you are in a combo.
Yeah.
And so, do you want that? Maybe. I don't mind it. But it's a very different game. And for the people who already hate Clarin, like it's just more of that. Like,
Yeah.
and it makes the game more aggressive because you are rewarded so heavily for approaching.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, I don't know if people want a game that is that swingy. Especially when people already complain about cheese. Like, I'm not kidding. HDR is a 1 to 3 neutral interaction game per stock. 1 to 3 neutral interactions. And if you're okay with that, that's great. But that's how many you get. Rivals, you get more than that. Vast majority of the time. Sometimes Lorena does you in less than that. But overwhelmingly, in Rivals, you will get at least 2, sometimes up to 5 or 6.
Yeah, for sure. So
in HDR, you just don't get that. So I would like this, because I would like it if Rivals played more like HDR because I'm better at HDR than I am at Rivals.
Yeah.
But I don't think this is something that everyone would like.
Yeah, I agree. I think that. Yeah, I think this would change the game a lot. I almost imagine you can maybe tune Floor Hug a little bit still, right? Like I could see some changes coming down the line in the future. I'm not sure what those would look like, but I don't know if this is the change I would want.
Like, yeah, like
I don't-
up tilt becomes
yeah.
ridiculous. Like there's just a couple moves in the game that get really good.
Yeah, I feel like you have to, if you do a change like this, you do have to rebalance those moves, which I'm not sure is necessary because I think that Rivals 2 Floor Hug works close to okay, or even close to good, right? As is, there's maybe like a few like niche cases where it's like, okay, maybe this move is Floor Huggable too late, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know,
You'd have
like
to rebalance the game around it.
yeah, I'm gonna put this one in Lost the Plot. I just feel like it's like, sure we could do it, but I'm not sure like why would we, you know? I think it's an
Yeah.
interesting idea, but I don't know.
And if they were to like remove floor hugging as it currently exists and implement this again, if they did a balance path on the roster, I don't think it's a bad idea. It would definitely change how the game plays. Again, it's just a matter of like what the vision is.
Yeah.
For the game.
Next we have Rano Get Up Special should be reworked. So this person just kind of said, like, this move feels kind of redundant, like you don't really... Like in the past you used to be able to use the spawn a second bubble. Now it's not even doing that. So what's the point of this move?
Let's get the bubble out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm pretty like nonplussed about this. Is it not very good? Yeah, but like...
I don't think your special get up needs to be good, though.
A lot of people's special get-ups aren't good. Like,
Yeah.
Abscess is horrible. Like...
Yeah. Yeah.
I think this is... You can put this in It's Safe. I don't think this is pressing at
Yeah.
all.
I feel like it's like, sure
sure.
you could rework it, like, okay, but it still probably shouldn't be reworked to be a good or necessary option, right?
Yeah.
You know, so. Next we have, back to this topic, Rivals 2 has nothing to offer casual plat fighter fans, and it does not stand out compared to other platform fighters as a casual experience.
The thing it's competing against is Smash, which it's never beating.
Yeah.
Again, like I'm still of the opinion that like if you are going head to head against Smash Brothers, like that's a losing war.
Yeah. I think that what this person also pointed out was there was like modes in like multiverses and things like that that felt very fresh and like new for casual players. That game, however,
Multiverses died.
yes, exactly. Yeah, like it's like okay, like sure, like they had like a casual side mode. Like I remember they had some kind of like you'd like pick a route and then it was kind of like you would play a match or whatever against like a bot. Like I guess it was like a casual mode. I played it for about 20 minutes and I said I would rather go to sleep. Like this is really, really bad. And so I think that Rivals 2 not having this doesn't like I'm not like man Rivals 2 is missing that, right? Like it was like a mode I didn't even like, the one they recommended.
And also like if I'm being really honest, have you played World of Light? Like
yeah,
it's not fun.
It's
like it's
yeah.
fucking boring. I don't think I've ever met somebody who was like World of Light is my favorite part of Smash Ultimate. Like
yeah.
I think people have gaslit themselves into thinking that this is more important than it is. It's the IP. That's why people play Smash. Rivals doesn't have it. They just don't. And like I think Multiversus was a great example because it had the IP and 1 million people played that game when it first came out.
Yeah, it was so big. It was like
and it had the casual stuff, it had the costumes, it had the characters, but it didn't have the gameplay. It didn't feel good to play. It wasn't fun.
Yeah.
That's what fucking matters. And so everyone left and it died despite having all of the stuff you guys say this game needs.
Yeah, I think that even like I don't know if you remember this, Riot like canceled a platform fighter they had in development because Multiversus bombed so bad. And I actually think that Riot would probably make a pretty okay platform fighter. I don't know if they'd be able to sell cosmetics for what Riot likes to sell cosmetics for. In a platform fighter.
Plat fighter community is like poverty too.
Yeah. I feel like it's like that $40 skin, you know, that's not being bought by a platform fighter player. But I do think that it's like you need to put gameplay first and then everything else second in like a fighting game, for me at least, you know.
I fully agree.
I'm gonna put
two most important things in a platform fighter are how the game feels to play and what the game looks like.
Yes, yeah.
Multiversus had this like janky ass way that it looked when you hit people that really turned a lot of people off, and it made the game feel cheap and like a mobile game.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was also slow, floaty, and like not fun to play.
That game was like, I remember people being like, "Oh, the first beta was like way more fun." I was like, It wasn't. It wasn't good either. Like,
I mean, it was
I
more
didn't
fun,
like
but like it
it. It
still
was
wasn't that
more.
fun.
Yeah, it was
Like,
like it's just like it never had that like good like feeling. It never felt crisp to play. It always felt like you were kind of out of control of your character a little bit.
yeah,
And I feel like if I'm playing a fighting game, I want to have control of my character. I don't know, like I'm not playing games to, you know.
they got a lot of feedback about that, and I don't know what the dev experience was like. I don't know what it
Mhm.
was, but they knew that it was like that, and
Yeah.
they didn't do anything about it. So I don't know what the problem.
I do know because I actually was going to make a video over like what happened with Multiverse, so I did a lot of research into it, and then a YouTuber with really good editing beat me to it, and I can't match that.
Yeah,
my
fair.
editing skills is so limited. And I think the thing was a lot of the devs wanted to make the game better, and then their budget was given like we want more characters, we want more skins, we don't want gameplay changes. So gameplay changes were kind of like shelved and like kept on being pushed back. And so it was like the higher ups like at Warner Bros were like, no, like gameplay changes don't make us money, right? It's the skins and characters that make us the money. So get those out, and then obviously you needed gameplay changes for people to want to play the skins and characters. So
It is interesting though, because they did make gameplay changes between the beta and release. So I just like,
Mhm.
and I know they knew during the beta what problems. So again, I don't know exactly
Yeah.
what the deal was. I imagine it was. It did have something
Yeah.
to do with some higher up stuff. I imagine it also had something to do with like a couple of designers who were probably again lost the plot a little bit. But
a little
I-
bit, maybe more than a little. They also did have an engine change between beta and full release, which is crazy to me. It's like, why did you
yeah,
feel
why
the
would you
need
do
to,
that?
apparently like because they went offline for like 18 months. Apparently 1 year of that was just porting to the new engine. So
Yeah.
they just lost a year of dev time. It's like, why did we do that? But I'm gonna put it has nothing to stand out to casual platform fighter fans, and like I also want to put in like Lamau because it's like we don't need that. I feel like Rival stands out on its
does,
own for
right?
other
like,
reasons.
It has some of the wacky stages. You can play doubles. Mina's coming, which I think is like going to appeal
Mhm.
to casuals more than anything else.
You have workshop,
Uh,
like
you can play with the items. You can play with your friends. Like that's what it's always been about.
yeah. I feel like it's like sure, like is it harder to get people onto Rivals 2 than Smash Bros? Like yeah, but that's always how it's gonna be. Like as
yeah,
you
but
said,
it's
like
easier
it's
to
like
get them onto Rivals 2 than it is Nasby, and Nasby
Yeah.
has fucking.
it's got the slime meter. Whoa, slime meter.
Nasby has IP. It has
Yeah.
a casual mode and like a bunch of stuff, and it like again, it just doesn't matter. So
Next we need more stages with non-standard walls.
so disagree.
Yeah. I'm gonna put this one in Lamau. I feel like one stage of the non-standard wall is enough, if not too much, per stage list. So,
The
I don't know.
difficulty is the game revolves around the wall,
yeah.
and recoveries are balanced around the wall. It would be different if the game was balanced around no walls, like Smash, and then some stages did have a wall, and that was like the flavor.
But that's
That
not
would be different, but
what
that's
we're
not
looking
how the
at.
game is balanced. The game
Yeah.
is balanced around the wall, so you have to have the wall.
And if you don't,
if you have
then
a
it's like-
stage that doesn't have the wall, it ends up being a big difference. And so, can you have one with no wall? Yeah, potentially.
more than one.
It's just
Probably
why?
not.
Why?
Yeah. I almost
And, like-
wonder if they give us more stages and more bands, if that would fix that, right? You could have more creative stages if you had more bands. But even then, like I think the system now works fine, so why?
Yeah, because even just like look at Air Armada, like it was just miserable to play on.
That stage is big, so you would get camped on it, right? If the platforms weren't laid out the right way, right? Like it was a lot harder to approach, and then there was no walls, so you would get like cheesed. Like it's
Yeah,
like
but then it would look like you were on the wall, but you weren't quite.
yeah.
like-
Oh yeah, because this wall was slanted too.
Yeah.
So it was just like such a. I was not a fan of that stage. I
No,
I like
it
to
wasn't
cheese
fun.
people on it. Like if I was fighting Zetter, we're going to Air Armada. I'm Orcane, we're playing underneath the stage. You know. But yeah, I definitely I'm not a fan of that take. Next we have the game should focus on fun over balance.
Who do you think's playing it currently?
Also, I would argue the game is fun in its current state, and it's also balanced in its current state. I don't think you have to have one over the other, right?
I agree. And I also think who is the people playing the game? Like,
Yeah.
right?
Also,
who is coming back every day, and
Yeah.
who is putting in the hours, and who is going to tournaments, and who is actually getting the game's name out there? Like, do you realize that the game's appearance at Evo had a bigger impact on the player numbers than the Fun for All update? Like,
Yeah.
that's an insane fucking statistic. An update to the game that added a new character, casual stages, and items made less of a splash than the game appearing at EVO. And you're
I would-
like,
I even had someone. I had how I do my tier list on the channel, right? Is like poll the community, right? I had someone in the comments of that video. They were like, most of the players responding to this poll are in masters. Like, this statistically cannot be a real sample size of players. But I would probably guess that most of the players logging on every day are probably masters or above, right? Or maybe like diamond and above, right? We can say that. I would imagine most of the players that play this game are high ranked players. And then the people who are in the low ranks, like I always hear, like it's hard to find matches in low ranks, right? I feel like the people who are playing this game are not people who would want to have a fun patch, right? They would want to have a competitively viable patch. But also, you don't need to have one or the other. I feel like you can have both.
you can't have both. And I think there's like a bell curve that shows that
Mhm.
most people end up in gold, like most people who play ranked at least a little. But you're
Yeah.
right, like the people who are grinding and putting in the most time, and like those are like the higher level players. So like plat, diamond, masters, whatever. Those are the people who are logging on like every day.
Yeah,
So-
for sure. Yeah, I don't mind that take at all. Next we have the current top tiers are too easy, not necessarily too strong.
This I actually don't disagree with.
I think I'm gonna put this one in right idea. I think
Yeah.
it's a rare. I really did think that we would have more of these in safe and right idea. Now that I'm like looking at them though, I'm like, okay, yeah, like I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I think I'm just too nice sometimes. But this one I actually
You
genuinely
need
do
to be
agree
here
with.
to lay down the law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I got you on this one.
I actually agree with this, and it harkens back to a point we kind of talked about earlier, where a lot of the characters that are really good in the game are good because they take stuff off your mental stack. Characters like Zetterbird and like Claren and Loxodon and Fleet. Fleet's a little bit more technical, but
Mhm.
even still, like Fleet has some pretty just reliably good options. And so, what you see in a lot of these, like again, very strong characters that are consistently doing well. Crag was another one, is having particular options that are just always good, that
Yeah.
are just like universally solid options, just good buttons. And that is where it's too easy. And that's where I actually thought, again, not pre-patch, but one pre-patch. Genesis Olympia, effectively, was an effective top tier because she wasn't that easy to play. Again, you were not seeing like low-level Olympias rise through the ranks. You were seeing good players piloting Olympia well. But I don't think a chunk of the current top tiers exists kind of like that. And I think, again, they're over-centralized around buttons that are just like too good. And again, like if you look at like Release Olympia, she was the same, where you would just up air people,
Yeah.
right? And it wasn't interesting at all because all you had to do was up air.
Yeah, I can see that. I think the biggest problem right now is like you have buttons that are both safe, they combo, and then at a certain point they also kill. And I think whenever you have all three in one button, it's really uninteresting and not super fun. As much of having like, okay, maybe if this button combos, this button kills, and this button's safe, right? So it's like, how do you work that together? You get more of a diverse kit, and then also your kit becomes harder because you're having to pick like when you press each button, right?
Even like earlier today, I hit somebody with strong Zetterburn forward air into weak Zetterburn forward air into strong Zetterburn forward air, and it killed
Of
him at 90.
course, yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, man, got him. Like,
We did it. Next we have parries should be stronger, and this is parries on a normal hit, not a projectile. I think the idea was like you risk a lot by parrying, and then you don't get a ton out of it.
I think you do get a ton out of it though.
I agree. So I think that one of their
Like-
points was like you hit them and then they floor hug, right?
They can't
But
floor
it's
gun
like-
parry. anymore.
Yeah, that's what they said, and then I was looking at that and I was like, I don't think that's a thing. So
It used to be.
yeah.
It got removed. Like that got patched out. So they can't floor hug after parry.
Also,
So that's-
even if you could probably get a combo off of a throw. Most characters have some kind of throw.
but like
confirm.
again, when you think about
Yeah.
it, like most characters get a smash attack. It's just not
Mm-hmm.
charged. Or you get like your best combo starter. Like what more do
Yeah.
you want?
Yeah. To me, I think I'm gonna put this one in Lost the Plot. I don't think I would be
Yeah.
mad if parries were like a hair stronger, but at the same time, it's like whenever I think about the game, I don't think, man, I wish that parries were stronger, right? Like, I'm okay with shields being solid, floor hug being solid, you have dodges and spot dodges, and you have your movement, and then you also have parries. You have so many defensive mechanics. I don't think that
I
every
think if they
defensive
made-
mechanic needs to be good in every scenario, you know?
Yeah, I think if they made parry stronger, I would make them come out maybe a frame or two faster. I
That would
actually
be,
make
yeah,
the
me too.
reward better.
Yeah, same. Next we have, this one's a little bit different. Parrying projectiles should be stronger. So I got this response from the same person, I split it into two. So I was like, okay, these are two different things. I do find that parrying some projectiles, like a maple seed, doesn't really do a whole lot, especially because she's probably not throwing it once you're already marked. I don't know. I think that I have mixed feelings on this one because I think it depends on the projectile.
Yeah, because like if you parry Galvin's magnet, like you're getting reward off of that.
Yeah,
If you
or like a
parry
fleet
one of-
tornado. Yeah.
Yeah, if you play Fleet Tornado, if you parry Raster's
Mhm.
Slipstream, if you parry Absacloud, if you parry any of Slade's items, you get like immediate reward off of all of those.
Mhm.
I think parry doesn't feel particularly strong against some characters, like parrying Seed, Fireball, and Meatball doesn't feel impactful.
Yeah.
And so maybe it's more so about looking at those particular projectiles as opposed to just like it broadly speaking.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm gonna put this one in Lost the Plot, even though I do think that I want to have an asterisk for like this applies to some projectiles, but most it doesn't in my mind. Because
Yeah,
whenever I
I
think about a
think-
character with projectile, I think, okay, I want to parry in this matchup, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't hate that take as much as I hated some of the other ones today. But I don't.
This is a pretty inoffensive take.
I almost even want to put this one in safe.
I'm
Right?
fine to put it there. Again, it's pretty
Yeah.
inoffensive.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
I-
be Ned if like Zetterbrun got owned a little harder for fireballing you and getting parried. Like, yeah, that wouldn't, no
That's
skin off my back.
the
but
most common one to me, where it's like it feels like a really strong projectile, and then parrying it is not really giving you
it
anything.
doesn't really matter. Yeah.
That's the only projectile in the game though where I think this is a really strong projectile, and then I have one counterplay to it. I mean, like shield or like just like run away, right? But those aren't very interesting as parry as compared to parry. But that's like the only one where I'm like the counterplay does not feel rewarding to this move.
Yeah.
That's on the top of my head. Next we have, we've talked about this one a few times. Rivals 2 is too complex for new players.
Again, you could argue that platform fighters are a complex genre.
Yeah, I think
Melee
fighting games
is-
as a whole.
Yeah, fighting games as a whole are a complicated genre. Like they're
Yeah.
a niche genre, as much as you might like to believe differently. Like fighting games are never going to be as popular as like shooters or anything like that. Like they're
Yeah.
just inherently complicated, and they're inherently hard. And platform fighters are even more so. I think the reason people gave and continue to give Melee the time of day is because it's Melee, because it's Smash.
It has a
Melee
legacy.
is one
yeah.
of the most complicated games ever. Like, Melee is so fucking hard, and people still play it. So, is Rivals 2 demanding? Absolutely. Would I make it less demanding? I wouldn't, because I think
Nope.
you would sacrifice what makes
Yeah.
the game good.
I think to a degree you can make a game like easy at a low level and then really complex at a high level, right? But I would even argue Rivals 2, if you're fighting other low level players, is not more demanding or complex than any other game in the genre, right?
I would agree.
So I'm going to put this one in Lost the Plot. I'm sure that Rivals 2 could cater to low level players more, but you'd have to rebalance for top level, which I just wouldn't
Yeah.
ever sacrifice, right? I feel like the low level player base is not the ones keeping the game afloat, not logging in every day, you know? Next,
And,
finally.
like, again,
Oh, go ahead.
again, like I don't want to discount the low-level players and what their
Mhm.
gameplay experience is like, because I do think it is important. But I think part of what is motivating about improving in Rivals 2 is knowing that there are like systems that you can master, and that those systems are like consistent and fair.
I think that Multiverse is a good example of that, where they didn't necessarily have those systems, and so you would play and it was not rewarding to get better necessarily, right?
And it just felt wacky. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like whenever I say like low player, I mean like a day one player, right? Like I feel like the game is accessible to you the same way any other fighting game would be. And is it hard? Like, yeah, but that's just how the genre is, so I'm not necessarily mad at it. Finally, we've kind of touched on this one a little bit. GUI is too derivative of Smash characters.
Starting it out.
That was the big thing for me, because this dropped, I think I dropped this like the week after EVO, right? So he had just been revealed, And I was like, but you haven't even played him. Like, I mean, okay, let's say you were at Evo and you played him, right? But to me, I feel like you kind of have Frankensteined a lot of Smash mechanics together, and then you've added a Rivals mechanic in there as well. Two of them, actually. He's got a root and he's got the big GUI mode. So I feel like he's not derivative of the Smash character because his gameplay loop is going to be so different, you know?
But also, like, he's not. He has a Jigglypuff forward air, not a Kirby forward air. He has like kind of a Kirby up air, but like not really. He's got the Jigglypuff down air. He's got not a Kirby back air, but it looks like a Jigglypuff back air. He's got a unique nair.
He's got Yoshi Egg Toss. He has items that he can play with.
Yeah, he can glide toss. He can get big. Like the suck isn't a copy mechanic. He's got like a charge shot type thing.
Yeah. He has the root that traps you, and then you can refresh it by putting the goo in it. Like, he's got...
Yeah.
He's got a lot.
It has that Rivals 2, like, buffoonery to it.
That's a good way to put it, yeah.
While being, like, clearly, again, like, inspired by a Smash character, but, like, to some degree, like, who isn't? Right? Like...
Yeah, it
Smash
kind of feels
Ultimate
like it's...
had 89 characters. Like, even characters in Smash are inspired by Smash characters. Like,
yeah.
When was the last time you saw a wholly unique character? Like, and again, you start getting into like Steve Kazuya territory where like people don't even like. So
I feel like Smash, they played around a little bit too much in that character designer. They were like, okay, we're gonna do invincible moves, command inputs. We're gonna give them auto turnaround, you know, and then maybe we have a move that kills you for free whenever you hit 100, right? Like, it's like, this is bad. Like, you made a unique character and you made like literally the devil. Like, Kazuya's the devil, the demon, right? Like,
yeah, and
you
so,
don't want more characters
again,
like that.
I think it comes back to that like normal guy point, where it's like I think Rivals could use some more normal guys.
Yes.
And
yeah.
if that means being a little bit more like a Smash character to be a normal guy, then like I'm okay with that.
Me too. Yeah.
But
I'm gonna
also,
put this.
I don't think GUI's derivative.
Yeah.
To a fault. And also, he's not out, so we don't even know meaningfully what he plays like in the engine.
Maybe he comes out and this is true. I don't think it will be true though. I'd be willing to bet money on it.
Yeah.
I feel like taking a mechanic from Smash is not inherently a bad thing to me. If you ripped a character 1-to-1, like, sure, like that could be an issue, but they're not doing that. That's not what this is.
But even if you did, they're gonna play different in the engine. Like if you put Melee Fox in Rivals 2, like contextually the character exists in a different space.
Yeah.
And so will have to function to some degree differently.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know, it just feels kind of... I don't know if I fully grasp what they're trying to say with that, because, yeah, GUI is not out. We don't know what 100% he does, and then he is going to be so different from a Kirby, from a Yoshi, from a anything. Like, he even has some, like, PM DDD stuff in his big GUI I've seen.
Yeah, and I mean, is he going to be, like, reminiscent of some of those characters? Sure. But again, like, are you going to ever get a character that's completely individual? Like
Orcane? We need more Orcanes. I think
like,
that's our...
Yeah, like, we
we've
need
come
some more
to.
Like, Lorena is pretty individual.
Even then she gets
But, like-
comparisons, though. So,
Yeah.
like, I always see people say, like, oh, she's in Cinnamon, and she's just not. Like, she's so...
Yeah.
She's anything but in Cinnamon, you know? I feel like because Rivals 2 is... I'm trying to think if this is mean. Not to whack any other platform fighters, Rivals 2 is the biggest platform fighter that's not Smash Bros., right? So inherently, more people are going to be seeing Rivals 2 and then drawing comparisons to Smash Bros. And I think that's okay. And then it's also like, it's just going to happen. You can't do anything about that, right? So
Yeah, and I mean, like, all I'll say is if we added, like, a Roy and a Metadite to the game, I wouldn't be that mad. You know what I mean? Like,
I thought that Slade was
that's
going to be
not
our
a
Meta
bad
Knight.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Slade
If
was
we
going
have-
to be Meta Knight. I was so
I was
sad
really
he
hoping
wasn't.
He was going to be too.
Yeah.
That would not be a bad thing. So, I don't think that's inherently bad. If GUI ends up playing like Melee or PM Puff or PM Kirby, like maybe we can revisit this conversation, but
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be so cut and dry the same.
I don't think the Rivals devs would be able to like make a Melee Puff. I feel like they hate, not hate, but they would. The engine would not allow that, right?
Again,
To the
even
same
look at
degree.
Slink, who everyone's like,
Yeah.
oh, he's Link. Have you played PM Link? It's not
Slade
like that.
is, yeah.
Yeah, like it's not like
He's got
that.
some other shenanigans going on, some kind of illness was put into Slade's design that makes him play that way, and
Doesn't play like Link, I'll tell you that much.
no, for sure. But with that one out of the way, we're all out of little hot takes to rank. We didn't have that many in the no notes or the right idea, but you know what? That was y'all's hot takes, and that's your fault. If you want to see more in the no notes and right ideas, respond with good takes next time.
Have better hot takes.
Yeah, come on now, like. But Nurse, if you want to tell them where they can find you, how they can go give you a follow, a subscription, because if they don't, I'll be so angry at them.
So angry.
But go ahead, yeah, let them know.
You can find me on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter at /nurse. It's just that everywhere. I stream usually 2-3 times a week. I try to make a YouTube video every week, every other week, but I have a real job, so sometimes it's hard.
It gets a little complicated. Yeah.
But I really appreciate you having me on. I think this is a very fun way to get to interact with your community in particular.
Like, if you have a hot take, if you disagree with us, let us know in that comment section, and then hit the subscribe button, and you hit the like button, Like, so go ahead and hit those, but you can fight with us if you hit those first, But all of Nurse's info is linked down below. Go check her out, show her some love. She has been on this channel. It's been over 2 hours. The edited version of this video might be like bonkers long, so if you made it this far, thank you to you. Much love to you. You sat through this. You've probably received a little bit of a headache, maybe some brain damage, but you know what? You're gonna make it. You're gonna be okay.
You're here with us, right?
Yeah,
right with you.
You've heard the hot takes of the world. Like it can't get worse than this. So. Some of these were real hot, y'all. Y'all did y'all's big one with this. But with that one out of the way, thank you guys so much for watching. Go sub to Nurse, go check her out, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!